Hello and welcome to round number 6 of the 2024 Season 1 of Rony's Tuesday Fun Race in Live for Speed. The 329th RTFR is tonight at Aston Modified with a mod we've used before. Eoin, welcome along to the commentary box for this one.
Thank you very much, Pete. And yeah, it's an extraordinary way to end yet another month in RTFR action. This Wessex is going to be an absolute show stealer, I think.
Yeah, we've seen it once before on our channel for RTFR at some point in the past, but we have it back, and here it is, the 2.8 litre flat 8 rear-wheel drive car, 644 kilos by Team Boo. So thank you very much to him for putting this mod together. Eoin, we are running a little bit behind schedule, and speaking of schedules, we have a bit of an announcement to make, because next week we have, or in 2 weeks' time, RTFR goes to West Hill International with the Fox, which is a combination that has never occurred in RTFR history. Can you believe it?
No, I'm very surprised it's never been picked in all the years and all the possible combinations that were pre-mod. You had a long time to come up with that, and obviously it never happened.
Yeah, well, in the Drivers' Championship standings, it's Mantas leading the way ahead of Rick Cardle at that point. And yeah, we have a pretty tight championship, but Mantas is starting to steal the show a little bit. That's been the kind of the story of the season so far, Eoin.
Yeah, without a doubt. He has put no rest on this championship. He's really taken everything he can out of this championship, and we're going to see if he can convert another pole into another win.
Yeah, he took pole position with a 1:45.65, which is quite significantly faster than anybody else. Look at that. So let's head to the grid and see these cars in action for round 6 of the championship.
Yeah, it's going to be quite a spectacle. We have a good turnout, it has to be said. So yeah, best of luck to all these drivers, and yeah, be mindful of that gravel trap on the outside of turn 1. So here we go, the lights are on, and the release. There we go, they're on their way. Let's see what happens with the launch, and it seems like Rick Cardle in second place has to form a line, whereas everyone else 2v2, and Lavrikov has had a terrible start, and Altsu has been hit, and more contact in the back. Steve Martin wide. Let's just see Stifler there, and now the battle for the lead. Rick on the outside, but of course, yeah, the throttle is so growly and threatening that you can't just slam it down if you want to actually get some racing done.
Yeah, we've got cars getting pushed off in the background as well, but a very, very frantic start. I think we've seen a few frantic starts recently, but that was rather more dramatic than we have seen, especially at the back as someone spears off there. Who was that? Into the gravel trap. Couldn't quite tell from that angle. I think it's Lorenzo going off as we enter this kind of weird kind of right-hander, a 90-degree right-hander that takes the driver straight back into the corkscrew section, out of the corkscrew section and into this long run down to the final corner. As TJ now we're watching, getting in amongst the action. And we've got 2 more cars off in the background there. We've got Soini and Magic off. Sorry, Mad Jester off. But Rick Cardle's had a brilliant start here, Eoin.
Yeah, superb. Yeah, he did take that high line into the first corner, but obviously he was able to apply the full throttle when he needed it, and Mantas caught by surprise. But yeah, we're in for a heck of a remaining 17 laps. So yeah, it's not going to be a cakewalk, that's for sure. Battle in the top 10. It's Rayman against Michael. There were a bit of door-to-door contact, but it was absolutely manageable. And now here's the race green trio. RG2, perhaps the odd one out. He's got the darker green. There he is in the background. But it's Nozzle ahead of Magic. Michael very slow out of the chicane, so he's going to be swamped here. Mindful of both sides of his mirrors to let the race green guys through.
Yeah, and there are 3 race green guys all together. Well, there were a minute ago. Michael Malik swamped, but trying to get back through. It's a long run up to the first corner. Martin McElroy now under pressure from Nozzle as they go into turn 1. Nozzle up the inside, and that's a good move for now. But it does tighten on the exit, and all the drivers will get back into the slipstream for the corkscrew. It's still as it was at the front. Rick Cardle leading Mantas and Asker, and we're watching. Actually, there's been an overtake. Has there? Yeah, no, they're going side by side into the right-hander. Mantas trying to get round Rick Cardle. Pushed off. and that's allowing Asker to slip through.
There'll be words about that. I'm sure Mantas will try his best to perform his own vigilante justice. It was a very hard defense from Rick. I wouldn't have done it myself, but yeah, there's still plenty of time, and thankfully both cars are all right.
Yeah, they're still in the race, but yeah, wow, shoulders out, elbows out at the front of this race, and that means Asker's been promoted to P2, and Unite might be able to get close to Mantas as he tries to get himself back in this race. But Rick Hardle, crucially, with a 2-second advantage now over Mantas, and Mantas has a car in the way of him and Rick, as we've got more swapping of places up the back straight here. Oh, and the car being spun round. I think that was LG Meese. Yes, it was.
Manchester and LG Meese, yeah.
Yeah.
That's disappointing, I have to say. But yeah, this car's just so difficult to drive. And Manchester's going to sink down the order. Perhaps as far down as 24th, I think.
Yeah, so lots and lots of drivers finding this car a little bit more difficult. But we've got a pretty nice battle in the middle here. We've got Michael Malik leading a bunch of cars, Mortimer Carey and RD2 side by side on the run up to turn 1. Well, it looks like actually RD2 has managed to do the move. RD2 with a race screen. Have we seen that before? Is that new news or is that old news? RD2.
Yeah, I think it's just an ordinary livery with like one of the default skins with just the shade of green. Oh yeah, it probably is new. Yeah, sorry. Yeah.
Yeah, so race green with a newish recruit, something we've not picked up on. RD2 joining that team. But yeah, currently having a great scrap with Michael on the inside. And becomes... Well, he has to follow him now through the next section of corners. Michael goes defensive. And in the background, Magic going for a move on Twin Cam. But can't put it off. This is quite a difficult car to get the power down in clearly. But Michael doing just enough at the moment.
Yeah, that's a good show of determination to make sure that pass was not completed whatsoever. Looking from the tailpipe of Arska, Mantas, yeah, he is starting to make up for lost time. But yeah, it's going to be a big ask to overtake Arska already. Narrowly missing the tyres there from our forward-facing camera. So yeah, the slipstream, it's just going to kick in perhaps a little bit too late. Turn 1 will... yeah, you'll have to slow the car down a lot sooner than average. But yeah, Mantas, fastest lap.
Yeah, this car is absolutely superb in a straight line, which is good while you're driving it, but not good if you want to overtake someone in a slipstream, as you said, Owen. As Asker goes for a four-wheel drift into turn 1, that slows him down quite a bit. Meanwhile, in the background, there's a 3-car battle here. Michael Malik, RD2 and Twin Cam in the dark blue car, Michael Malik in the cyan blue. And Twin Cam makes up a place there. Well, at least initially, too much oversteer into the middle part of the apex, but somehow manages to get past Michael as well.
Yeah, he's found the traction out of the corner, makes it count, so brilliantly done.
Fantastic move. It didn't look like it was going to pay off at all, but it has. So fair play to Twin Cam as the cars fly over the top of the corkscrew. Brilliantly agile car, this one.
Yeah, but the engine is just so powerful in the middle of the chassis, so you're on tenterhooks trying to keep it from biting you. And yeah, of course, the road supers on this car as well makes it even more of a challenge. So if you're on slicks, it would be a small grace, but yeah, on the road supers, it is a huge workout.
Sounds fantastic, looks fantastic from all angles, does this car. As Mantas has had a spin at the front, he's been trying to get past Asker, but has now lost a place to Unite as well. So more woes for Mantas. I think he was actually in a fight with Asker. He's registered as above him on the timing tower, which we will get an update to as he goes across start finish to confirm that he has lost that place and another to Unite. There he goes, dropping down the order to P4 now for Mantas, so not the best end to his lap.
Again, yeah, he still has enough time if he can settle down, but I'd imagine he is really concerned with what's going on and be letting some steam out after the end of the race. But here's Magic on the chase with McElroy. He's going to try and move around with the flow of the circuit before picking the inside line. So McElroy has to avoid what happened when Twin Cam overtook Michael for position and make sure he gets the power down as quickly as possible.
Well, look how late they have to wait to get the power down. They're almost out of the corner before they can even put the power down. They slow down so much through that first corner, of course, owing to the lack of rear downforce on this car, as McElroy goes quite hot into the corkscrew. Magic able to catch him back up. What a fantastic machine. Honestly, this looks like an absolute handful, but a lot of fun to drive. Magic really struggling again to get the power down there.
Yeah, that's the story of the race, having such a challenge with the, I suppose, 1960s the performance. Here we go with Unite. He's got to watch out for Mantas, and yeah, he certainly does. So, yeah, back to P3 for Mantas. He didn't have to take long whatsoever.
Yeah, but Mantas doesn't want to lose any more places, no more mistakes, no more coming together with other cars. He needs to catch up to Oscar, who's this blue car just ahead of him, and then set his sights, try and do something to close that 5-second gap now that he has to Rick Cardle. We've got 136 in the tyres, hence the left front damage on that car, and TJ manages to slip through, as we've got a car leaving the pit lane. There shouldn't be anybody going into the pit lane really in this race, so only drivers with issues. Michael's hit the tyres as well and is recovering. We've got cars all over the road actually. So Lorenzo just coming up to speed there behind him. There he goes.
Yeah, I think Spider-Man has been in the pits for service and a drive-through. So I think in this case he just wants to get out of the way under blue flags.
Well, there's Rick Cardle, and here are Oscar and Mantas as they work their way up the corkscrew. And this is the time where we need to start looking at those gaps and see whether these two have any chance of catching Rick Cardle. It all comes down, Owen, to that incident on the opening lap, or I think it was lap 2, where Mantas was pushed off the track by the looks of it. But there we are. Oh, more contact, but Mantas alongside now.
Yeah, this is absolutely massive for his journey back to contention. Arska. He really wants the second place. Oh, he got loose on the curb there. So he's even got to be alert on this almost flat out windy section. And now they'll be braking hard before 100 meters. Turn 8, this is... And Unite in the background as well.
It's so agile. It's unbelievably agile. Even on the straights, these guys are having to lift and catch the car. It's an exercise, that's for sure. They're going to be getting a workout, depending on what hardware they're running. But Mantas is through and has now a very healthy gap over our P3 runner now, Oscar. But let's see what the gap is as he comes across start finish. It's 6.3 seconds. Can you believe the gap to the race leader now? 6.3 seconds.
It's going to be probably half a second a lap just to get close to Rick at this point. He knows he's capable of it, but it has to be faults from now. Unite having a peak. He commits to the acceleration via the power slide. Had to be tempered there. So Arska will hold position, but into the corkscrew they come. If they're not already slowed down, then it's going to be very, very difficult to control the cars, but absolutely no problem for these two.
Yeah, it's so twitchy, but really, really brilliant to watch. The drivers having to use, a pretty unique driving style. It's not something you tend to see that often. The drivers having to work this hard to muscle a car around in Live for Speed. A real challenge, and great to see such a packed grid as Unite now makes the move back on the inside for now on Oscar. As we've got, what have we got in the background? Oh, we've got a twin cam spinning out. There we go.
136 is using Rony's skin, but Rony hit him. So yeah, you'd have to be very eagle-eyed to have noticed that from your screen viewers. So yeah, if you saw that, then fair play to you. But Rony and 126 have identical liveries because Rony's has been lifted onto 126's car.
Unite's made it through on Oscar and makes his way up to P3 then. And we'll get another update at the start-finish line on the lead battle. It has come down by 2/10, but that's not enough in one sector alone. Let's see if Mantas has improved. Actually, no, Ricciardo has pulled ahead another 0.5 of a second in that second sector. So yet again, Mantas just, not on it today necessarily. That might be a little bit unfair, but we've got Lavrikov and Twincam battling with each other over start-finish. Here we go. Lavrikov in the green and yellow, and Twincam in the dark blue Born to Race livery. He's going to get another go.
Coming back.
Yep.
Inside line for Twincam. Has he left his braking a little too late? Yeah, the switcheroo. That's no problem for Jordan. His job now is to try and catch both Nossel and Rayman. So this is certainly possible. Yeah, Twincam to try and help his teammate, I suppose. Oh, Rayman's gone off. He takes the shortcut up the corkscrew, and he has compromised his tyre, so Nossel could catch up. And Twincam, his ability to help his teammate, it's going to be difficult now. So a lot going on in the space of a few 100 meters. Down the inside goes Nossel, watching and waiting for the clearance to push, and there we go. That's a pass for position.
Great stuff. Jordan Lavrikov also trying to open up that gap on Twincam and close up, as you said, Owen, to the two ahead. It's now Twincam who, another Born to Race car that he has to try and get through. Meanwhile, as we end lap number 8 and go on to lap number 9, halfway at the end of this lap, it is Rick Cardle in that lovely purple and deep violet livery with Mantas in P2. Then we've got Unite for Sidus in P3, Asker for World Class Lines in P4, and it's Thamuli who's having a very nice drive here, Owen, at the moment in P number 5. Not really got anyone around him, and doing a solid job in P5.
Yes, indeed. The greatest compliment you could pay to him is that we haven't had to say anything about him. He's just got on with the job, and a solid 5th place where other drivers perhaps would have felt they were capable of it, but just something went wrong for them. So Thamuli in 5th, absolutely faultless up to this point.
Yeah, here's 136. He's been through the walls. He's been bounced around by Rony in his own livery, which is quite ironic, but there we go. But both of these guys having a decent race, solidly in the top 10 at the moment, with Nozzle also running in that same livery in P9, and Jordan Lavrikov closing up once again. He's managed to get through on Rayman, of course, and now up the corkscrew will close up to the back of the race green driver. I like this view with the 2 exhaust pipes in the view. That's quite nice.
Yeah, absolutely brilliant. It really does get to the up close and personal of the car. Like, it really does shine here. And now the teammates have had a miscommunication. And in all honesty, they should have decided who was going to be the leader. And RD2 for race green is coming, and he might snap up Twincam.
Yeah, he might do. Got so much to keep an eye on here. Jordan Lavrikov closing up on Nozzle, and RD2 trying to get past 2 Born to Race drivers who seem to be squabbling with each other. Lavrikov later on the brakes. Oh, and I think that was a bit cheeky. Nozzle had to give him the space. He didn't have any choice, otherwise they were going to make contact. And Lavrikov muscles his way through remarkably without any sort of contact in the end. Fair driving from Nozzle there to see that was going to happen. And Lavrikov says, all right, thanks a lot. I'm through. P9 for Lavrikov.
Yeah, he'll be relieved. He's making genuine progress at last. And the ability to catch 1 through 6, that'll be a tall task. But let's see if he can do it in time. And the Born to Race battle just rages on here. Rayman has the confidence to carry on, I believe. So Twincam just has to wait for a moment to perhaps prove me wrong. And just behind in this view, it's Master Magic. And Team Eoin is just watching on to see what may happen. Magic sliding there. Beautiful shoulder cam there. Master cuts inside and will push on, defending his position. And Team Eoin, he'll be very close now. And once again, we join our squabbling teammates. And Twin Cam is through, but he may not have judged the exit correctly. 42, so close. And now we got last for Twin Cam's point of view. He has performed that pass.
Yeah, about time, really. Let's be honest. Rayman there, he'll want his teammate to just disappear so he can actually have some peace and quiet for a little bit, I'm sure, or try and gap RD2 as Mantas exits the final corner now. Almost 8 seconds the deficit to Rick Gardle. Rick Gardle is driving a superb race at the moment. Absolutely no challenge. Dispatched of his championship rival quite early on in this race and has pressed home the advantage and capitalised again from we think a mistake or a coming together with Asker earlier on for Mantas. Unite consolidates P3 at the moment, and Asker, well, he'll really want a podium again. He'll want to be up on at least the third step once again. As we switch to RD2, who has a run on Rayman.
Yeah, so this past lap has not gone Rayman's way, and he's got a 99% clearance. It's just that final edge. There we go. RD2 so far has got the pass done, but of course here's the counter attack. Late on the brakes is RD2. Can he slow it in time? He certainly got
a good effort.
An opportunity to pull away here. Yeah, you can sense Rayman. Yeah, he's just a bit flustered. Has to wait to put the power down. So RD2 makes the move, and that should be enough for now, as long as he keeps the tires nice and cool.
I tell you what, this must be an extremely scary car to drive in real life. This thing looks completely sketchy, and well, it looks fantastic though. I'd love to have a go in one of these. What an amazing looking thing! Did you see yourself driving one of these, Owen, with the aviators on?
Probably not. No, unfortunately, it'd be worth a try if I could make it around the first few corners.
Well, I'm sure you'd want to go at the very least.
Yes.
Try it out.
Rick has now put a lap down on Hermione, and in fairness to Hermione, he's made a special effort with his livery. I believe that's Penelope Pitstop's car, the compact Pussycat, just in the shade of blue this time. If
there
I'm
you
wrong,
go. That's
I'm
nice
wrong.
to see. Well, I don't
believe
know.
I'm right. Yeah, and that's Stiefler just behind Hermione. That will be for position though. So he's been taking it very pedestrian. He makes sure he doesn't want to spin the car whatsoever. Whereas Stiefler does wobble quite badly out of the corkscrew. So yeah, that goes to show perhaps the style is working for Hermione, making sure he never makes a glaring mistake. But yeah, Stiefler's going to catch him very soon.
Good call on the livery there from Hermione, but yeah, odd. It looks like the car it was based on. Slightly different colour scheme, but nonetheless, good eyes on that one, Owen.
Thank you.
12 laps completed almost for Rick Cardle as he's trying to lower his deficit in the championship of around about 40 points to Mantas, and he can do that slowly throughout the season. But as eagle-eyed viewers will be aware, at the end of this round, Owen, we are halfway through season 1. So
it's been a half year already. My goodness.
Well, not half a year.
Season.
It's half a season, yeah. So end of 3 months after this round, as we watch Mantas now wanting to put a lap on Stiefler. So through he does go.
Stiefler would appreciate a little bit of a slipstream, but he's not going to get it. Mantas has too much of a job on his own shoulders to carry at the minute, so yeah, he'll just pull away. Steve Martin on cameras now, as we do see Magic on the grass, so potential for an attack to be lined up into start-finish straight with Teemu Soini also in range. Magic still trying to get this car under his thumb, but it's not working out so far. But this final chicane is single file, so Steve Martin will not take the immediate dive. But yeah, Magic is struggling, so he's certainly exposed here. But yeah, Steve is just waiting for his chance, and he's going to get him.
Yeah, Stephen Martin's another driver who has kind of his own brand, white base colour with pink highlights. That's a staple of his. So good to see that here again as we switch to Altsu, who's having a bit of a dice with Motta McCarry. Let's see if Steve manages to get this move done into the first hairpin, or the parabolica, I guess. It's not really a hairpin, it's kind of a big, wide open, big hairpin. But yeah, Steve Martin, pink and white highlights. Always very obvious to spot his car in a pack.
That is absolutely correct. I want to see Lorenzo for a sec because I thought he was in position for Rayman. The last Rayman has actually gained a huge amount of time out of turn, I believe that'll be 5 into 6. Yeah, so that's a big gain for Rayman thus far, but maybe Lorenzo can catch him and the faster points. Another fastest lap from another B2R, of course Mantas there, but it's still far from enough. It'll require contact. Yeah, Lorenzo has caught straight back up, but not able to make the pass count. Too much of the curb there, and Rayman has another chance to split as he can just see Twin Cam just out of range. But yeah, he's still got about 5 laps to go to make some last minute gains for himself.
Cardle, here he is again in the number 88 as he flies up the hill for the 14th time of asking, some 7.5 seconds ahead of Mantas. It looks good on the low angles, this thing, that's for sure.
And Arska on the prowl here. Has he made any gains? He's gained a 1/10 of a second on this current lap. You'll feel like he's so close on Unite for that podium position. But it's still a huge ask to make a real push for the position. Mindful of the final chicane, of course. It's so dangerous if you get it wrong. But yeah, so far Unite hanging on in there for Sidus 1-3. Sidus Altsu, he can see Rayman now. Perhaps, yeah, you're just behind Lorenzo. He was close, but not close enough. Down to third, well, still hanging on in third gear. And yeah, he's got a better exit. But now he can go up to full pace now. Here comes the slipstream. And Rayman has to stay in the middle of the track, hoping for the counter-attack approach. He lifts a small bit, and Altsu is right where he needs to be. Rayman blocked from that overtake in response, and yeah, he's not quick enough out of the parabolica, meaning Altsu gains that 14th position.
While all that was happening, Jordan Lavrikov makes a move on 136 into the corkscrew and is through, as you can see. And that is also Rony that he's about to catch up to the back of on this back straight.
Yeah, he's really close now. So this is a mightily impressive comeback here for Lavrikov after what happened to him after the lights out. He got a really poor launch, but he's almost able to take the 6th position away from the series organizer. It may just need start finish straight slipstream to make absolutely sure of it.
As they come through the final chicane, it's crucial that Lavrikov gets a good exit here and then heads off on his merry way. But it looks like Rony's actually done a pretty good job there, and Lavrikov might have to wait a little bit longer to try and get P6.
Yeah, he's waiting and waiting. Which, yeah, it's Hermione just ahead for blue flags. So he should get as high as possible. Yeah, there we go. He'll stick to the high line, making sure both our competitors are through. So yeah, good awareness there from Hermione. And he'll stay on the edge of the track to let more cars lap him. But here we go. This is where Lavrikov is perhaps excelling. Here we are, watching and waiting. 140 kilometers per hour, hitting the middle curb there. As a matter of fact, Rony, he also fared very well out of that corkscrew.
Yeah, Rony's doing a pretty solid job here, actually, to open up the gap again to Lavrikov. There are definitely parts of the track where Rony is excelling at the moment, especially corner exit, as you can see there again, very strong, back to full power. A little bit of a kick of oversteer, but Jordan Lavrikov not close enough to get a slipstream yet again, and he's running out of laps. If he wants that P6, Rony would sorely like to keep hold of it, that's for sure, as our race leaders are already on to the penultimate lap number 17. Rick Cardle leads Mantas, but by only 5 seconds. So I think Rick Cardle's had a wobble somewhere, Owen, because he's lost 2.5 seconds.
Yeah, we'll have to investigate that, as Lavrikov has made his pass. He's through just before the final chicane, so his turn 8, he got a much better turn in. Rony was sliding a tad, and then Lavrikov pushed through, makes position count. Now Steve Martin has a lot on his plate here. He's got Mad Jester, and he's already beaten to the punch there by Magic. Magic does much better, and indeed does Mad Jester. So unfortunately for Steve, he has dropped 2 positions. Is Mad Jester tempted? He certainly is. He'll go for the opening on the inside. He's waiting for the pull away. No, he's going to be side by side. But yeah, he has made that pass after all. I thought he maybe got it wrong. He has pulled it off nicely.
Yeah,
Magic's loose.
Yeah, Magic's very, very loose, and just has to clip the tyre barriers there, and might lose even more time. Who's that? Who's catching up to him? I think it's Timu Soini. No, Timu Soini's a long way up the road. But yeah, Steve Martin gets the place, and well, Michael Malik is somewhere in the background trying to make up places as well, but quite a big gap for him to overcome. In fact, risking being lapped potentially by Rick Cardle if he has any issues. But Rick is so far in the lead at the moment over Mantas, and has opened up another half a second. So I assume there was either a mistake again from Mantas, or Rick Cardle's just found the pace again.
Yeah, I'd have to wait and see exactly what happens. Yeah, of course, Mantas has now lapped GT4 Tube, who lies in 22nd position on his own. But Jari Katila, if he can pull out his best possible lap, then he might have a slim chance of catching GT4 Tube. Here we go, the battle rages on here. Nossel in the back of the queue here. It's still Lavrikov and Rony. Yeah, Rony has to gain slipstream on Stiefla, I believe that is. Yes, it's Stiefla. So Lavrikov cleared of Rony and his clones, I suppose you could call them, in identical livery. They're just too far back.
Rony and his clones has the making of a fantastic TV series. For anyone with a good idea out there, as we are watching Rick Cardle complete the final few turns of round number 6 around Aston Modified. I don't know if we've ever seen a race at this track. I'm sure we have at some point, but it's been a very, very long time since we've used this particular configuration, but I don't think we've ever seen it on a broadcast. So good to add a new track to the list of the list, as we got Rick Cardle coming up to the final chicane then to complete the race. And yeah, he's not done badly to bring the gap back up to 6.7 seconds. It was looking like we were going to get a feisty race, but it was quashed quite early on there, Owen. But bring him to the line.
And it is victory for Rick Cardle, putting the show on the road for himself and his Sidus team. So congratulations to him. Mantas will have to be settled with second place. And there's Jari Katila coming across the line, P22. So would he have caught GT4 Tube in time? No, he did not.
Yeah, what a drive from Rick. In fact, yeah, he's driven a very, very nice race, almost 8 seconds. He manages to gain on Mantas in the end. Rony's about to finish the race, and it will be unfortunately behind Jordan Lavrikov, who takes 6th place in the end.
Yeah, he'll probably reflect on what went wrong, but of course he did fight back so impressively. And to the line, it's Lorenzo in his Ferrari getting 13th, but he wasn't able to lap Stiefler. Nevertheless, yeah, that should be a reliable result for Lorenzo. He should be pleased with that. More cars coming across the line. Atsu beats Rayman. And then Monty McCarry 16th. Matt Jester, Steve Martin will be next.
Yeah, here they come, just exiting the final corner. Mad Jester across the line, quite a big advantage in the end. I'm not sure where that pace came from so late from Mad Jester, but definitely had some gas left in the tank, let's put it that way. So it would have been interesting to see what he would have done, maybe if he had some more practice or just better luck at the start. Remember, we did have that huge incident at the start. As we have the final car crossing the line, Michael Malik, there he goes, finishing in P21.
Yeah, and that's really impressive to have 21 cars complete the race. 21 on the lead lap and making it to the end. So yeah, a very strong finishing rate, I have to be honest. Really well done to all the drivers.
I would tend to agree with you there, Owen. I think of all the configurations that we would expect maybe more drop off, this would definitely have been higher up on my list. But to have 27 finishes is pretty impressive, considering that, yeah, we've seen far fewer finishes with far less challenging cars.
Yeah, I'd have to agree with that as well. So this was a tough challenge, but I suppose the first corner, there was plenty of room. I know there were still plenty of spins and all, but the risk, like compared to what we saw at the beginning of the year at Dean Hairpin with the Absolute Destruction Derby, that wasn't as big of a risk today, and the drivers did very, very well to stick it out, even if they were disappointed with some of the spinning that they were subject to.
Indeed. Rick Cardle wins this time out in 32 minutes and 10 seconds, ahead of Mantas by 8 seconds. Unite takes the third step on the podium, making it 2 for Sidus. Unfortunately, there is no teams championship standing. It is all every man for himself, so good points for the individuals there. Oscar just shy of the podium. Look at that gap, actually, to Unite in the end, just over 2/10 actually at the line, so they were close the whole race really. Thamuli in P5. Jordan Lavrikov makes his way back up to P6 after a frantic opening lap. Rony, Nozzle 136 and TJ are your top 10. RD2, Twincam, Lorenzo, Altsu, Rayman, Monty McCarry, Madjester, Steve Martin, Soini and Magic are your top 20. With just one solitary car remaining on the lead lap, that was Michael Malik, with GT4 Tube, Jari Katila and Stiefler, along with Hermani, a lap down, and Mika Sarkinen, Spider-Man and Master, several laps down there. Actually, SRP Master DNFing 7 laps from the end. And it was Rick Cardle who took the fastest lap, a 1:45.87, in a very challenging but very beautiful, it has to be said, Wessex R69 SP by Team Boo. That's the star of the show today for me, Owen. What a brilliant thing.
Yeah, I was delighted to see it turn up for an RTF4 event. So, yeah, I should be interested to see how it gets on in the future. And if there are any, I suppose, 60s prototype races going on with, I think there's another Wessex branded car from Team Bo. So, yeah, there might be a 2-car class that might be possible in future if it doesn't already exist.
Yeah, thanks very much, Owen, for that. For sure, it would be 2-car class with this would be awesome. Maybe a vintage endurance, someone. I don't know. Who knows? But anyway, the idea of that would be certainly welcome to us. Well, thank you very much, Owen, for joining me again for commentary for this. It's been a pleasure to have you in the box once again for round number 6. Rony's Tuesday Fun Race, always a crowd pleaser. And it looked like the drivers had fun. Some of them have put in quite a bit of practice by the looks of it, considering how many finished. Plenty of spins still, but they stuck it out to the end. Clearly enjoyed the mod and the combination. So that's good. That's great to see.
Yeah, it really is great to see, and the chat I hope enjoyed the show. So there'll be plenty more to look forward to. But that's it for now. I'm hopeful for more.
For sure, that marks halfway through season 1 of RTFR. So that is pretty much the point where the drivers are going to start focusing on that all-important prize fund. There is a prize fund for the Drivers' Championship standings, sponsored once again by World Class Lines very generously. And the next round 7, is the Fox at West Hill International, a combination that is synonymous with LFS, really, Eoin, but has never really appeared in RTFR. In fact, it has never appeared in RTFR.
Wow, yeah, that goes to show you. I suppose Fox Friday perhaps made people more determined to drive it in that series rather than bringing it into RTFR. But now it's time. We'll be on April 9th.
Yep, so expect a packed grid for that. And if you want to join us on the grid, you can do. Just hop into the RTFR server at around, between 6 and 7 o'clock and set your lap time for qualifying. Server gets passworded on the hour and you are able to join the race if you have a time within the top 40. So please join us in 2 weeks' time for the 330th RTFR Fox at West Hill International. That is going to be fantastic, Eoin. That is definitely going to be amazing.
It will, and I'll be there. I'll do my best to free up the day and look forward to it.
Thanks everyone for watching. Congrats to our podium, and we will see you all at the next one. From all of us here at Sim Broadcast, have a great evening. See you next time. Goodbye.
Bye-bye.